Welcome back to House of Prep. My name's Jerry. We're going to talk about bartering items today. Throughout some of my videos and talking to people, sometimes getting emails, people sometimes ask about bartering in a apocalypse situation, in a SHTF situation where food becomes scarce, supplies become scarce. Everywhere you go, things are getting harder to find. And we talk about it, and people jump in on the comments and we discuss things. But there's different ways of thinking about this. First, I want to just kind of do a little disclaimer. I think in a really bad scenario where people are desperate, bartering can be dangerous. People start realizing what you have to trade. They come back later. It's just something to be thoughtful of, something to think of. I don't think I'm going to be quick to barter. That's why I don't normally talk about bartering a lot on my channel. Actually, it's the first bartering video I've ever done. And I'm not going to be quick to want to run out and trade with people for things. I'm going to be pretty content probably with what I have. However, sometimes you find out I need something. Now, bartering can also come in handy if you have a small circle of friends, neighbors, people that you're working with. You start finding out, hey, what do you need? And maybe you trade some things. So I'm all for that. And I know certain scenarios do call for some sort of a bartering system when you can't go to the store. When you used to go to the neighbor's house and borrow a cup of sugar. Who's done that? I remember as a kid, my mom sending me next door, go get, see if you can borrow a cup of sugar, because we had something we were making and we were out of sugar. And I don't think she'd run out anymore, though. I think she's probably got sugar for years stacked up. So first, I'm just going to talk about packs of seeds. Now, you can get these at a Dollar Tree. I still got them for $1. I know the price of a lot of their items have gone up, to $1.25 each and stuff, but I still was able to pay $1 for 4 packs of seeds. Now, this is just 4 of them. I just grabbed 4 random ones. But in a bad scenario, when you're trading for things, people are going to have to start looking long term. And if they haven't already prepped ahead for some of these things, that might be a great bartering item. That might be something to catch somebody's eye. Now look, these are just random ideas because every scenario is going to be different. And each person you come in contact for bartering, or people that are around you for bartering, every scenario is going to be totally different. Batteries. I brought a representative of 2 different brands here. Having some good batteries on hand and having extra, and what a great bartering item that is. A lot of flashlights take 2 of these AA's. You can stock AAA's, you got C batteries, D batteries, and having extra batteries on hand for bartering or trading, or if you have a family member, and not even just bartering, but giving. Like if you have a neighbor or a family member and you're trying to help them through something, and hopefully they learn from not prepping, but some people still want to be able to help. So having a box of these Ziploc baggies are very handy, helpful. Who knows? You might be starting your own apocalypse convenience store, the corner store of your area. You might. So get a couple boxes of Ziploc bags for your store. So when you break down your batteries, you can put them in a Ziploc bag. Keep them together, keep them dry in case it's raining, moisture. Mark on there, whatever. You figure batteries and stuff are going to be worth a lot. I'm going to randomly throw some things in here. Something else to use the baggies for, or small boxes of ammo. You could break this down into increments of 5 or whatever you want to do, and be able to put them in Ziploc bags if you really wanted to break these down, because that could become something that's super valuable and a lot of people running out of or looking for more of. And you could get, the 9mm or 45s, the 5.56, shotgun shells, whatever it is that you want to prep. But having some of that prepped up would come in handy for trading. And that's something like I'm sure I'm not getting rid of that. And I agree with you. That's something that I would not trade away. But if you have an abundance of it, if you have a plethora of it, let's do a couple food items. Let's start with something cheap. Ramen noodles, man, super cheap. What are these like? Well, I'm sure the price has got slowly creeping up. 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents for a pack of these now. But man, could you imagine someone who's starting? What's the value of this? You see where I'm getting at? You can have a whole case of these and you could be trading, I'll give you a pack of ramen noodles for a box of your ammo, right? I mean, you never know. I mean, you just don't know what kind of scenario you're going to run into. But you could have some of those on hand. A jar of peanut butter. Man, this is a small jar. What kind of value would that hold in a bartering situation? I mean, that would be huge, I would think. Peanut butter is a really good one. All right, here's a big dog. We're bringing out the big guns for bartering. You know, you give me your solar generator, and I'll give you a can of Keystone ground beef. And if they're hungry enough, they'll do it. So, because they won't be able to, if you can't find it now, you're sure not going to be able to find it in a apocalypse, all right? That's going to be gold right there. That's probably the high dollar item on the list here. Look, I mean, you could go, if you have extra MREs, I mean, that's, a lot of these are ready to eat. Meals ready to eat. That's what it is, MRE. And, you know, somebody that you know, or someone, hey, look, I'm hungry, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Here's an MRE, and I'll see you later. And that's all I've got, and you know, we can't spare anymore. Or whatever your story, however you want to do it, you could trade for this. People that are hungry, I mean, they don't have to cook stuff and all that with, you know, propane and things. They'd be able to just do everything that's right here in the pack. So MREs is a good idea. Or you could go super cheap. A can of corn, 50 cents. Now, but what's that value when people are hungry? Any type of veggie, you know, just get creative. There's no rules. I mean, who really knows what rules are going to happen and things. Smaller bags of rice, like this is a 5 pound. I mean, you can get them smaller than this, but man, what's the value of a 5 pound bag of rice to a family where they're trying to feed their family, their kids, and they don't have any food? What kind of value does a small bag of rice like this hold for a family? Man, I tell you, I mean, that right there, can of meat, bag of rice, some veggies. I mean, you could set somebody up for at least a little while. Now, see, that's, as I'm going here, that's the other thing about bartering. In my opinion, if you still cannot buy more stock from people, and people in general still cannot find food, cannot find supplies, they're going to still dry up very fast. So even if you're bartering and you're giving some things away, if things continue down that path, look, we're consumers. We will devour supplies as a society. Things will slowly, or very quickly at that point, disappear. Having some heating elements, propane. What's one of these small propane tanks worth in a bad situation? Absolutely priceless. And you know, you could trade for all kinds of things. Or if you have someone, a neighbor or a family member just needing to get by, one of these cans could get them by for a few days of cooking on their camp stoves or what have you. Here's some items you don't think of too. Little small containers of hand sanitizers, lotions, things like that. Toothpaste, just hygiene items, things that people start running out of and they still want to have. You know, maybe they have plenty of everything. And like, you know, you're looking for something. You're like, hey, I really want, you know, I'm out of veggies. I really want a can of veggies. And they're like, you know what? We don't need anything. But you say, hey, I've got some lotion or shampoo, right? I've got some lotion. How about a little bottle of lotion? And they'll be like, hey, you know what? We're out of lotion. The wife's hands are getting like alligator scales. None of that. We got to get some lotion in here. So you get lotion. And you know what? Some of these you get for free at the motel. You know, we spend hundreds of dollars to stay in at a trip at a nice motel. And then, you know, we're like on the way out the door, we're like, you know what? I'm taking this. I'm taking this little thing of lotion, and that's going to help offset my stay here of all the money I spent. Ta-da, right? That'll last me 2 days. So lotions, just little, you know, just get creative. Meds. You can get smaller bottles than this, but that's what the bags are for too. If you really needed to just 5 to 10 or 15 increments, whatever you feel, you're just wanting to trade some things without giving away your whole stock, you could do that. Hygiene, other items, clean toilet paper, by the roll. You could trade a roll of this for something if people are just looking to trade some stuff, some baby wipes, anything. You could go with freeze-dried food, a bag of freeze-dried food. So really there's no rhyme or reason. My big thing is safe. Be safe. If you're going to trade in a bad situation where people are desperate or get crazy, if you're going to go into that bartering world, like I said, I probably will stay clear of it myself. But you never know what scenario you might run into that you might need to barter. So anyway, hope you guys are having a great week. I wanted to stop in and say hey to you, and you all take care. Talk to you later.